You know that course that your parents do not want you to take in university or college because it's overcrowded and everybody is in it and it's not good for the work market? Yeah, that's how I feel getting into content creation right now.
I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to.
It's time for me to expose ass and hole. Speed versus ass and hole. Let's get this shit right.
Literally everything, and I mean everything, seems like it has already been done. And then there's me.
To zoom on your face.
Zoom on my face. Why shouldn't you zoom on my face? But then the sun, you're like, the sun is hitting like this.
Sina hit hivyo.
So I should stand against the sun.
And I can't even figure out how to get the sun right. Hi, my name is Lynn, and I have always wanted to be a content creator ever since the age of 19. 8 years down the line, and I am still here, on the verge of starting again. If you're thinking, 8 years could never be me, that is exactly why you need to watch this video, because it could literally be anyone. You know, right now, from experience, the idea of starting content in 2025, it puts a shiver down your spine. And it's because, to be honest, content creation right now seems so far and advanced. So the concept of start now doesn't seem to hold ground for a lot of creators, especially with AI coming in and people being able to produce mass content. It has become very, very hard for certain creators to be able to, bridge that gap, because all we're doing is starting, and we do not have all this equipment and all these things that we need to be starting with, that people are telling us, hey, you need to be starting with. And even if you watch YouTube gurus to be able to grow on YouTube, which I do religiously, most of the ideas for you to be able to break out as a creator is copy me. Basically, if you do not know what copy me is you've seen a creator do something, it has worked, so you do the same thing, it might work for you. And so I feel like when you want to begin, especially when you want to create original content, when you want to create content from a place of authenticity and heart, it becomes really hard because you're in a sea of mass creators and you're like, okay, I'm really just a small piece in all of this. Does my voice really matter? Does my content really matter? And that is why I created this video, to tell you that your content and your voice does matter. Like I said before, I've always wanted to be a content creator ever since the age of 19. And I remember the first time that I was getting over my fear of being seen. It was around the age of 22 to 23. I remember being so excited and motivated to produce content during this age. I started producing a bunch of content, and my best video then got about 22K views. I remember being so happy and excited during this time, and I just wanted to keep on producing content after content after content. You know how you're feeling after getting, your first maybe 100 views, when you're getting like 20 views. Then everything else in my life came crumbling down. And forgive me, because I will not be showing you the visual effects of everything in my life crumbling down, but please listen. We lost the business that we had invested in. My family started going through very, very great financial turmoil, and I felt like my life was over. Everything, like my head was literally about to burst, to be honest. You know that time when literally everything doesn't want to work, like literally nothing is working no matter what you're doing. In retrospect, this was a time when I should have pushed harder. But instead, what I did was I went to get a job that I didn't want, but a job that I needed, because I needed to pay my bills. I needed to survive, to be honest. But if you are in that phase where everything in your life doesn't seem to work out and you really have the desire to still create content, please do. Even if it is one video a week, one video a month, please do that. When it's time for you to come back with full momentum, you are able to do so with ease. Because let's be honest, life is not like a free flow. Things happen, and sometimes you're not able to sit. You don't even have the strength to be able to sit in front of a camera because you feel like a fraud, and that's okay. Especially if you really want to create content with impact and content that really comes from the soul, it is very, very important to let content come from an authentic place. Even after conquering your fear to start, now that's when the real challenge begins, because there's an even now greater fear that in a sea of very many great content creators, where do I begin? Is my content good enough? Will I be able to create this space? I need a better camera, I need a better microphone, I need better lighting, and all these things really just stop the creative force from flowing. If you can tell, I still have that fear too. I still feel my shoulders being so stiff, and sometimes when I'm talking, I'm not being able to articulate my words correctly just because I still have this fear. But the truth is, there's no other remedy for us but this.
Number one, any of you listening, if you, especially if you have 0 videos on your channel, your first video is not going to get views, period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end, and just get to work and start uploading. Like, all you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos, and improve something every time.
As enormously tiring that sounds, we have no other choice but to put in the work and listen. I'm not here to tell you how confident you need to be, how you need to speak in the camera and be more eloquent, and how you need to move your hands, and maybe how you need to move your body. I'm not here to tell you the kind of equipment that you need to have. You need to have this type of microphone for better sound. I'm not here to tell you about the lighting that you need to have. I know you've watched 1,000 of those videos. But the only thing that those videos put in me was fear, especially when you do not have the finances to be able to buy those things. The only thing that you're going to have in your heart is fear. So stop watching videos about the equipment that you do have if you do not necessarily have the finances to acquire it. Let's just start producing the content. That's what we need. That's what is needed of you and me. For us, as we're beginning, we have no other choice but to be able to produce a lot of content. If you're so afraid of producing bad content, there's no way your content will ever be good. Produce that bad content. Even this video doesn't have the great sounding and the great lighting, but hey, if you've reached here to the end of the video, I'm really, really grateful. But what I'm doing is trying. That is the most important thing that many people do not want to do. We are waiting to be perfectionists instead of just beginning. No matter how advanced the world is right now, the concept of beginning will never change. You have to begin bad before you can get better. There's no one who has ever begun from like a good spot. There's no one who has ever begun knowing everything. We are babies and then we grow into adults. So let's start taking those baby steps. Let's start doing what is necessary. And what is necessary of you right now, if you do not have the money to buy all that fancy equipment, is to just pick up your phone, pick up that small camera that you do have, and start creating content, because that is the only way that you're going to be changing our lives.